Imagine that your power goes out and you go to grab a flashlight, but the batteries are dead. So you go to grab another one and you can't find it. Now your phone is almost dead. Suddenly, simple power outage becomes a series of bad decisions. The problem wasn't that you lacked equipment, but the problem is you only had one plan. One of the planning frameworks I've come to appreciate is called a PACE plan. It wasn't created for emergency preparedness specifically, but it has been used in military and emergency planning for years. One of the best resources I've found for adapting it to everyday preparedness is actually PACE Planning by Jesse Wilbur. I'll link his book below because it's worth reading. Today though, I want to make sure I show you how to start building your first PACE plan from scratch. The PACE acronym is actually simple. It's primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. It's a simple way of asking if something fails, what happens next? While there are exceptions, the important thing is that each option is independent of the previous one. If the same failure takes out all 4 options, you don't really have 4 plans. You have a fragile one. So let's take an example. Power goes out. Your primary is to use house electricity. What if there's a failure? Okay, so then your alternate becomes a generator. Well, if the generator won't start, what's your contingency? Your contingency becomes a battery power station. But what if the battery is depleted? Then you go to emergency. Use candles and oil lamps or whatever you have laying around, so to speak. Notice how each solution uses a different resource, and that's actually the point. If this idea clicks with you, Jesse's book gives you much deeper than I can go into on a YouTube video, but we're going to cover the framework so you can start using it immediately. Listen, you may think you don't need a PACE plan, and that's fine, but emergencies rarely fail because of one big catastrophe. They actually fail because of a chain of little failures. Water filter breaks, road closes, batteries in your radio dies, phone towers overloaded, vehicles won't start. None of these are major disasters by themselves, but stack enough of them together and now you're having to improvise. PACE actually removes most of the improvisation. Instead of asking, what do I do? It's, hey, okay, what's next in the plan? So let's build one together. And we're gonna actually use something everybody understands, and that's getting home. Your primary is actually to drive. Fairly simple, and that's what almost everybody will do. But your alternate is, what if something happens, you need to take another route? Maybe the interstate's closed, maybe there's an accident, maybe there's flooding. My area, there's avalanches. It's just one of those things. But driving is still an option in this case, just a different route. And if driving is not an option, we'll look at the contingency. Sometimes it's actually park, walk, and ride a bicycle. Call somebody else, use public transportation, maybe an entirely different method altogether. If those don't work, then you go to the emergency situation. You have to shelter in place. Maybe you want to stay at work, stay with family, stay in a hotel, don't drive at all. Notice how each layer becomes increasingly independent. Keeping in mind that this is a perfect example of where I live. If there's an avalanche, my wife cannot get home from work. So what is she going to do? Her emergency plan is to go stay with her sister. So now let's take another one, such as communication. Your primary is usually your cell phone, being able to pick it up, call somebody. But we've discussed this in another video that maybe that's not the easiest way or things become overloaded. Text messages becomes your alternate. And if you still can't use your phone, maybe the battery's dead or something like that, you may want to look at amateur radio, GMRS, satellite communicators, FRS, fill in the blank. Another method to actually go in and communicate with that individual you need to. That takes us to the last one, which is emergency. Maybe it's a physical message. Maybe you need to drive there and actually hand deliver it. Send somebody else, use a written note, but again, each level depends less on the previous one. So let's take another one. How about water? Your primary for water could be municipal water, or in our case, a well. Your alternate could be stored water, which we have. And that's typically what a lot of preparedness people do. But the contingency, if I don't have any or run out, is usually a water filter. That water filter becomes a problem, or I don't have one, you may look at emergency, which is boiling and using chemical treatment if you're not sure where the water is coming from, because boiling alone doesn't always fix the problem. Just, hey, by the way, if there's chemicals in the water, it's not going to work if it's just boiled. Solar disinfection, maybe even rainwater, but the exact order depends on your situation. The point isn't copying mine, but it's actually building out yours. Another one of my favorites is actually medical. Your primary could be call 911. Your alternate could go to urgent care. Your contingency could be self-treatment with training and supplies. And then emergency could be evacuating yourself. Request outside assistance, improvised transport. Again, no single point of failure. People often confuse having options with having backups. Owning 3 flashlights isn't a PACE plan, it's actually just having a backup, a redundant system. But they all rely on batteries. But that means something like owning 5 radios also isn't a PACE plan if they all depend on one repeater. If one fails, in that case, they all fail. Real redundancy means different methods, but not more copies of the same thing. Listen, preparedness isn't about predicting every emergency. That's actually impossible. It's about planning for failure, because eventually every primary plan fails. The people who adapt the fastest are the ones who already know what comes next. That's the real purpose of a PACE plan. You can ask anybody that knows me. I've got a plan A, B, C, D, and that's the order I put them in. But in reality, it's a PACE. Listen, if you're serious about building a complete preparedness plan instead of just collecting gear, I highly recommend the book PACE Planning by Jesse Wilbur. I'll leave an affiliate link down below in the description, because purchasing it through that link helps to support the channel and it's no additional cost to you. It's also genuinely one of the better planning resources I've actually read, because he doesn't take and say, add water, do this, do this. He says, these are the things to think about, and actually makes it to where you use your brain. Similar to what I did with this. If you want to try to build one this week, don't try to plan your entire life. Pick one thing: power, water, communication, getting home, medical, whatever it is. Pick one thing for you and or your family. Write down your primary, your alternate, your contingency, and the emergency options. While it's easy to make a grid just like I showed you, even on the back of a napkin, I've actually got one down in the link below that you can have for free. Because what that'll do is it'll get you started, but you'll also probably discover gaps you didn't know you had, and it's better to learn that today than actually during an emergency.